My suggestion is we table this until the next meeting of the board, when the corrections are made with regards to spelling of names and the dates and so forth. Is there a motion?
I move we table July 7th meeting to August 7th for the next meeting.
Is there a second? And to clarify, the meeting minutes that are to be approved today, you want to table that till the corrections are made to the next meeting?
Till the correct date is published for the minutes.
Second?
I'll second.
All in favor? Opposed? Motion carries. On to 6 monthly reports. We'll start with the Sheriff's Department. Good evening, Deputy.
How you guys doing?
Good, how are you?
Pretty good. Alright, so I'm Deputy Nathan Fransky with the Sheriff's Department, and the total calls for service that we got for the month of July, we had 95. That included 5 911 hang-ups, 6 alarms, 8 assist other agencies, 17 assist fire EMS, 11 disabled vehicles, 56 house and building checks, 9 suspicious persons and vehicles, 43 citations, 6 written warnings, 19 verbal warnings, 7 ordinance citations, 1 warrant pickup, 2 citizen service walk-ins, 14 follow-up investigations, 1 well-being check. For traffic incidents, we had 4 car accidents that were property damage only. We had 1 personal injury accident, 1 car deer accident, 3 operating after suspension or revocation, and we had 6 other traffic offenses. We had 5 animal cases, 2 burglaries, 2 controlled substance, 2 disorderly conducts, 1 domestic, 3 frauds, 1 loud noise, 1 missing person, 2 obstructing, 3 thefts, 1 uncontrollable juvenile, and 2 all other offenses.
Thank you. Any questions? We'll move on to the report from the Fire Chief. Thank you.
July, we had 28 ambulance responses, 2 motor vehicle accidents, 10 fire responses. Mutual aid was given twice and received 3 times. We had 1 member return from leave of absence. July, we maintained 39 active members. 4 people are on leave of absence, and the secretary treasurer. Our high school cadets both graduated in June. One of those cadets is leaving the department and going to Fox Valley to attend college up there. And one of them has applied for full membership and is continuing his education at WCT and Fire Science program. Fire inspector did serve that he was going to leave the department. He rescinded his resignation and is still with us, and hopefully will be with us for some time yet, so that's back in place. We've participated in fire prevention Heroes Day at Chinook Girl Scout Camp. We facilitated a program for almost 300 girls up there in one day. It was kind of an exciting day. It was a lot of fun, actually. The program included girls from 3rd to 6th grade, so it was quite a variety of youngsters. We attended the farmers market at Piala's Nursery in July, and we were involved actually today in Wisconsin Fire Safety Council's Fire Safety Prevention Program at the burn camp. That was the program we did today. We did hold a small brat sale on Tuesday on Election Day, and that is going to continue on Saturday at Pick and Save on Sunset Drive at the shops at the Fox River for a fundraiser for the fire department.
Chief, are your runs still over for the year compared to previous years?
Yeah, we're running about 20% higher this year right now.
Any other questions?
20% over?
Yes.
Thank you. And we'll move on to the monthly report from the clerk treasurer.
We received
4 public records requests. One from Chris Lefter for our budget votes for 2013 and 14. We received one from Brendan Rosner for absentee information, Beer Capital for licensing information, and then a person asking for a list of bills that we're paying for tonight. We have installed our new accounting and payroll packages. We started training on that. We're trying to get it prepared and ready for use for the 2015 budget. Our website will go live on August 18th, which is next Monday. This system will allow residents to request email messages whenever we put up a different type of document or a new document on the website. We've invoiced the city of Waukesha for back taxes due from annexations at the sum of $62,256 for payments in lieu of taxes. We received our CDGB funds back from the expenditures made for the sound and video system. We were busy this last couple weeks getting the election going from Tuesday, and went very well, and we appreciate every one of our poll workers that worked very hard that day. And our notice of assessment and our open books was complete. Tomorrow is our board of review. Erin attended a week-long training for her clerk certification, and I found a grant to recoup town funding from 2006 that allowed us to reimburse some past equipment charges for election equipment. So we will get a $2,200 refund from the state.
Thank you. Tell us a little bit more about the $62,000 that we've invoiced the city. How far back does that go?
It goes back to 2004. The statute says that in starting in April 2004, we could recoup 5 years of our taxes on every property that that was annexed, and the city had annexed 53 properties, and we are in the process of getting them their documentation, and hope to see that fund soon.
Thank you.
Can I ask a follow-up question in that regard? Is that, when we do receive that money, will that not be reflected in our 2014 budget because we didn't have a placeholder for it, or will it be reflected someplace as income for 2014?
It will be reflected as revenue, yes, as for payment in lieu of taxes. So we will be over in that budget item.
So we do have a line item in the budget for income that would be appropriate to place that into.
Yes, we do.
Thank you.
Anybody else? Move on to D, Buildings and Grounds, Supervisor Wolf.
Yes, you received 3 documents tonight. We got 3 bids on surveying the property. The only thing I have to mention, I did some follow-up with the first one from Kettle Marine, and he did not include the contour line, so he needs to add $1,000 to that figure that he sent me in the email. However, that sheet is all I got from him, so he did not spell out what he was providing. He basically went by the email I sent to him and gave me that price without a breakdown. Also, Chris Janelli sent us one. I have not seen a breakdown on that. He sort of explains what he's including. And then the third one is from Yankee and Yankee, and from what I can tell, he's providing the same thing that Chris Janelli is providing.
Questions?
So does the quote from Yankee and Yankee include the contour line?
Yes.
Thank you.
Do you have a recommendation for us, Supervisor Wolf?
Yes, I would, with The cheapest price is Yankee. I have used them in the past. They're not in this big of a job in a residential, and they've done a good job. With price, I would recommend Yankee, since they're providing us the same service.
Anybody else? Thank you. On to E, Finance, Supervisor Fischer.
Are we not going to take action on that?
I don't think we can, we didn't have it on the agenda to take action. Purely a report.
Fair enough, okay, thank you. Yes, for finance, a item to share with the board, Clerk Treasurer Nicholas and I met last week and chatted briefly about proceeding with the development of the 2015 budget. We have, I guess, a recommendation to make to the town board, and that would be to have a kickoff meeting for both 2015 town budget and town finances, if you will. The recommendation would be to hold that meeting at 5:30 on Thursday, August 28th, which would be 2 weeks from tonight. That would be an hour in advance of our regular board meeting. That would be an open public meeting for everyone. I'm assuming that everyone could attend. We would expect every board member to be present. What I envision for that is that we would disseminate and share just a bit of information about town finances in general, and largely it would be kind of an organizational or directional meeting for the development of the 2015 budget. So if everyone's amenable to that, you can think a bit about that process. I mean, we do have 2 board members who haven't participated in that fun exercise before. Got a new clerk treasurer, so it'll be kind of a learning experience for all of us. So that's the essence of the report, is to set the way forward. We'll set up a schedule, try to figure out the best way we want to approach that. That'll be an interactive type of meeting. So unless there's any objective, we would ask for your consent to have that meeting at that time.
Supervisor Dorr, work for you?
That was August 28th?
Yes.
That's a town board meeting, right?
Yes.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, it would be 1 hour prior to the town board meeting,
Yeah.
so it's not to break it up in other times.
Supervisor Wolf?
That's fine.
Ready? Okay. On to F, Personnel,
Just a quick
Supervisor.
question before we move on. When you say that'll be interactive, that'll also be interactive for anybody who attends from the residents? Or it's interactive for the town board members?
I'm thinking that's interactive for the town board members. I don't know that it's appropriate at that point in time to do it in another way, so it's primarily workshop. I mean, people are certainly welcome to attend and observe, but my
Okay.
understanding is that would be simply the board at work with staff.
Thank you.
Supervisor Radke?
Mine's fairly brief, but Clerk Nicholas and I have looked at our employee handbook with some of the new employees and found that there may be some issues that are missing or not clear enough, so we're reviewing some of our neighboring communities and their handbook, and we'll have more to add next time.
Thank you. And Public Works, Supervisor Durr.
The major hours expended in the month of July were trees and storm damage for 32.5 hours, road and shoulder work for 67 hours, culvert work for 35.5. There was 16 hours taken in vacation and holiday time, town hall work of 7 hours, ditch work of 32, 16 hours spent on residents' complaints and work requests, 21.5 hours of sign work for road signs, and 24 hours of grass cutting, not including here at the town hall.
Thank you. Any questions? And lastly, Supervisor Fischer again, the monitoring of the private wells.
The latest battery or round of tests were conducted by Guthrie and Fry on August 1st and August 2nd. You should all have in your informational packets, and I believe it was on the town website a spreadsheet comprised of 2 pages in which we tried to capture all of the monitoring events going back to inception in January of 2008. I believe we are presently monitoring 25 wells in the town. I don't intend to offer any further comments on it. I think it's self-explanatory. I would answer any questions, but now that we've completed that round or battery of tests, I do intend to present that to Dr. Cherkauer for his consideration, his recommendations moving forward. You will see a tie-off to that under the payment of the bills, and that we have been invoiced for the monitoring that was done on the 25 wells at that point in time, I believe at $40 a piece for a total expenditure of $1,000. We kind of put that into the context of information we presented previously in terms of how we have budgeted and expended money for that effort. That concludes my report, unless there are any questions.
One quick one. Are you able to find out if Guthrie and Fry is using the same individual each time to do the testing, and then is that individual, or if it's not the same individual, using the same methods?
I do not know for certain the answer to that question, but I will find out and report back at the next meeting.
Okay, thank you. Anybody else?
I have a question. So what's our plan moving forward? We're gonna do this quarterly, annually, same time every year? What's our scope?
My response to that is, or at least initial response, is to invite Dr. Cherkauer to offer recommendation or recommendations or options to us. And then I guess consider or deliberate that. My intention would be to basically pose that to him in written form, those types of questions, and solicit a written response from him, so we're not translating or regurgitating things back from him, so it'll be direct information. So I guess I would say, I mean, if you've got some suggestions, fine, but if not, I'm inclined at this point in time to wait for his response and let him give us his advice.
Thank you. Then we'll move on to 7, Plan Commission items, discussion and possible action on the following. The accessory building owner is John Fischer, West 277, South 3389 Burnell Drive. And Mr. Fischer is here with us tonight. Is there a motion?
I make a motion that we accept the recommendation of the planning commission to approve of the conditions that they applied. I'll second it.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed?